Hey all, Sean here from Tesla Family. If you're new here, I create videos mostly on my Tesla ownership experience, including my vehicles, my solar panels, and my Powerwall. But today I have a new topic. Here at Tesla Family, we're ditching our Verizon Fios internet service and adding a Starlink dish to our home. This will save us about $20 per month or over $200 per year for the same data speeds. In this video, I'll share a quick overview of Starlink, which Starlink plan we chose, and how we are saving money. I'll also let you know how you can get a free month of Starlink, and then we'll unbox, install, and activate the equipment, which will give us internet from space. Let's get started. All right, let's do a quick overview of the Starlink internet network. So what is Starlink? It's reliable, high-speed internet coming from space. You can get up to 400 plus megabits per second in the US, and they have residential plans where you can connect your home, or roaming plans where you can have a Starlink dish on any sort of mobile vehicle, like a boat, RV. The roam plan is designed to connect while traveling anywhere in over 150 markets. Starlink uses these mini lasers. There's a picture from one of the satellites in space. And these lasers deliver high-speed, low-latency connectivity while they orbit the Earth. Each of these lasers is designed to achieve link speeds of 25 gigabits per second. So here's a comparison of how Starlink works in comparison to other satellite internet providers. You can see here that Starlink is very close to the Earth. In fact, Starlink has a constellation of thousands of satellites that orbit the planet Earth about 550 kilometers above the surface, and they cover the entire globe. Because the satellites are in such a low orbit, the latency, or the speed that the data is transferred between the satellite and the surface of the Earth, is much quicker. A geostationary satellite is a fixed position, and you can see that they're placed much further away, greater than 35,000 kilometers, so their latency is much higher. And how do we receive our Starlink internet here at the surface? Well, Starlink has these dishes here that can be placed anywhere around your home or in your mobile vehicle, and they're designed to allow you to get online in minutes. Step 1, plug it in. Step 2, point it at the sky. It's as simple as that. Let's take a look at a couple of the service plans here. Of course, for residential, which is best for households, this is going to be your fixed dish location. They have 3 service plans. This awesome $40 per month residential 100 megabits per second plan, that's the one that I chose, and that's the one I signed up for. Residential Lite is $80 per month, and then residential is $120 per month. All of these residential plans are unlimited data. If you want to roam around with your RV, or if you're a nomad or a camper, or you want to work on the go, you can go with the roam plan where you get 50 gigabytes of data for $50 per month, or unlimited data for $165 per month. So how does that compare to my current Verizon Fios plan? Well, currently the plan has a face value of about $105 per month. Verizon is giving me about $45 per month in discounts, bringing my total cost per month down to just under $60. So not too bad for the 100 megabit per second plan. It's worked really fine for our house. You know, we can stream movies, YouTube, all kinds of stuff. There was just 3 of us in our household, so 100 megabits per second seems to be working fine, and that's why we chose the Starlink residential 100 megabits per second plan, because it's going to work for us and it's cheaper. We're going to save almost $20 per month, or more than $200 per year. A little more detail on the residential 100 megabits per second service plan. Your download speeds are capped at 100 megabits per second. Upload speeds are not limited, and you get unlimited data each month. The equipment costs $0, and depending on your location, you may get free installation. It's best suited for 2 to 3 person households with everyday internet needs. Now the residential Lite plan, that's $80 per month. With that, you're going to see download speeds between 80 and 200 megabits per second. Now that compared to the residential service plan, that's $120 per month. Residential gets you 135 to 305 plus megabits per second. So where is Starlink available? Pretty much anywhere here in the US. I guess we could zoom out to the world too. Let's look at, because we've got some followers here that might be checking in from around the globe. And we can see that the US, the lower 48, Alaska, all has really good availability. All of Europe here, just about all of Europe except for a couple of countries here in Eastern Europe, have a good availability. We get large part of South America, several countries, maybe at least 50% here in Africa, limited availability here pending regulatory approval in the Middle East, and no availability here for a large part of Asia. And of course, our friends down under here in Australia, good availability as well. So you might be asking, well, you live in an area with some snow. How is that going to affect my internet connectivity through Starlink? Heavy rain, wind, lightning, or extreme temperatures? Well, Starlink still works with all of these conditions in all weather. We've got temperatures down to minus 22 Fahrenheit or as high as 122 degrees Fahrenheit. And of course, with snow, Starlink has the ability to melt snow, which is super cool. So we'll likely not have any issues with snow accumulating on the dish. Of course, rain, Starlink's designed to operate in wet conditions. And then with lightning, Starlink meets the U.S. National Electrical Code grounding requirements. What do we get in the kit? I'll show you the unboxing here very shortly, but we'll see the Starlink dish, the kickstand, a Gen 3 router, the Starlink cable, and the power supply. And there are many mounts that you can choose to mount Starlink to your home. For me here, I ordered the standard wall mount, so I'm going to be installing my Starlink here to the side of my roof. But there are options to mount the Starlink right on the roof with the pivot mount. You can mount it to a pole, and you can also mount Starlink without any drilling if you want to use the ridgeline mount. So what have you got to lose? At least put your address in here at starlink.com and see what kind of service you can get at your location. But before you do that, make sure you use my referral link. It's here in the video. I will also place the referral link in the description below. And with the referral link, you get 1 free month of Starlink internet. All right. Let's check out the equipment and get it installed. Just to show you my starting internet speeds here, I ran a quick speed test. And you can see here my Fios is pretty good. 94.6 megabits per second download and 70.5 megabits per second upload. Again, no real issues with having Fios and its service connection, but just trying to save money here with Starlink. All right, we're back inside here and we are going to be opening the Starlink kit. Did order the Starlink dish, and then a separate box is going to have the mount in it. But let's get the dish open first. So, okay, now we can open the box, and boom, right in the top is our Starlink dish. Inside, we've got a pretty easy instruction chart here. So inside, we've got our Starlink router. That's pretty cool little router. We've got 50 feet of data cable. This is a power over internet cable. Power cable for the router and our power pack for the router. All right, additionally, we've got the Starlink wall mount here. So in here we got all the supplies we need to mount Starlink on the wall. It's actually a pretty nice metal. Even though it looks plastic, it's a really nice metal mount. This is plastic that goes into the back of Starlink. In the kit, we get some cable clamps, a couple lag screws, galvanized lag screws, and some silicone. SpaceX silicone, check that out. And then in the Starlink cable routing kit, we get some tools, pretty cool. We get a little 3/4 inch butterfly bit. We get a long drill bit to punch through the wall. Here's our cable routing tool, so we don't get the ends of the cable dirty. More SpaceX silicone, more cable clamps, and some wall plugs. So I think that's it. Let's get started. All right, we moved to the back corner of my house where I'm going to install my Starlink dish right up here on the corner of the roof. The reason why I chose the back is because the way my house is oriented, the front points toward the south, the back towards the north, and here in the northern hemisphere, you want your Starlink dish pointed toward the northern sky. So now I'm going to climb up on this step ladder and just do a quick obstruction check using the Starlink app. Definitely don't try this at home. You're not supposed to be standing on the top of a ladder. But the only other ladder I have is a 24-foot ladder, and it extends up over the roof. So this is what we're working with today. All right, here I am in the Starlink app. We're gonna check for obstructions with our standard kit. Confirm. It says find an open area and scan the entire sky. So this is generally gonna be the point of view of my Starlink, kind of facing this direction to the northeast. You can see here from the results of the test on the periphery of its line of sight to the satellites, there are a few of these real tall trees that could occasionally bring some obstructions. But our results do show that we will have a good experience streaming video and web browsing with some interruptions to video calls and some frequent interruptions to online gaming. We don't do any online gaming, so we should be good to go. So we could choose any part of this soffit part here, and to get the most height above the roof, I'm gonna bring it right up to the top. The only other option might be toward the peak of the roof here, but there isn't enough space between this lip on the roof and the edge of the siding to allow for the wall mount. So we're just gonna go ahead and mount it right here, the soffit part of the roof. I do want to keep it over the soffit part in case there's happens to ever be any sort of leak or anything. The leak would likely just drip down and down to the soffit rather than inside my home. Next up is our SpaceX silicone. Squirt some into the holes. We don't want any leaks. And our galvanized lag screws with a 9/16 socket. And of course, what was I doing thinking I should use a ratchet socket when I've got an impact? Next up, we need to attach the new base plate to the post, and then we're going to be running the cable through and then attaching our Starlink dish. In order to remove the kickstand, you have to put 2 fingers under here, push down with your thumb and pull out like that. We have 50 feet of the Starlink cable, which should be more than enough for us to reach from our new post down along the wall, along the base of our siding, and then we're gonna go into our house where the old Fios data cable went, right here. So there's 2 dots on here for alignment. We got dot and dot. We'll align those up, pop that down, and we're gonna run our cable in. So first off, we will plug in the data cable, and that's in, and we'll get the dish installed. There we go. We do have some range here, like that, to spin the dish, and we'll find the best angle for it. As far as running this cable, we're gonna just run it with a little droop here for water to drop right down the edge of the siding. We got lots of these little cable clamps with our kit, so we're gonna just be opening them up, putting the cable in, putting them into position, and then I'm gonna get a hex driver and spin those in pretty quick. All right, I've got the cable run down the side of the siding, and it's attached here to the siding. We're gonna run it along that portion. I'll do that later. You don't really need to watch me do that, but it will go behind this rain catch here on the window. It's gonna go right here, just between parts of the air conditioner that go into the home. We'll run it along here, behind the gas meter, and then I'm gonna do a little droop to let rainwater drip off the cable. And here is the previous access hole where we had our Fios internet, this white cable. and we even had some coaxial cable come through. Now I'm going to make this hole bigger with the included spade bit that comes with the Starlink kit. I used the included 1/4-inch bit. This is like, I think, a foot long or so, maybe 14 inches. And we've punched all the way through this hole into the drywall on the back side. All right, back inside the house. All right, using the bit, we're running a string through the wall so I can grab the other end and we'll be able to pull the cable through. We've got the end of the data cable. We've got it attached to a string and we're gonna pull it through the wall. So go ahead and pull it through the wall and I'll just try to fish it for you until you get the stiff part. You got it?
Yep.
Okay, just pull it straight through. The cable routing kit definitely is a must-have. It just makes the job easier. It includes these plugs that I've put onto the cable. We're gonna run that into the wall, and when we're all done, I'm gonna put some silicone behind it, but for now, let's just do a test fit. Yep, that'll be nice. Okay, back inside, you can see where the cable came through the wall. We'll clean that up later. We've got it running into our router. The router is connected to our power supply, and we're gonna power this thing up and bring it alive. So here's the router. I plugged it in. We've got power here on the router. I think the next step for us to do is to go to the Starlink app. All right, next up, I'm gonna climb back up to the dish and we're gonna run on the Starlink app the setup feature. So start setup, confirm that we are setting up the standard kit, find a clear view of the sky. We do have that already. We've already checked for obstructions. Now we just say we have a clear view, install the mount. We have the mount installed, our wall mount. Plug in Starlink and router, connect all the cables and run power to your Starlink. The light on the front of your router will illuminate. We definitely have that. Starlink is plugged in. Connect to Starlink Wi-Fi. Connect to your Starlink Wi-Fi network and your device's settings and come back. And we're connected. That's super simple. Okay, now it says Starlink paired successfully. Your device is connected to Starlink. Next, let's get your Starlink connected to the internet and optimize your setup. Continue. Looks like it's downloading a software update right now. It still says offline. Oh, it says online now. That's cool. Wi-Fi not configured. Let's configure it. Wi-Fi is reloading to apply your new network settings. It takes about 1 minute. All right, it says Starlink is misaligned by 5 degrees. Align Starlink. Turn Starlink to match your target. Oh, cool, look at that. Right there, perfectly aligned in the box, it looks like. View obstructions. Okay, so Starlink is calibrating and gathering data on obstructions. This usually takes about an hour, so it's doing its thing. This is pretty cool. The statistics, the Starlink and router just powered on. Network performance and statistics should stabilize after about 15 minutes. All right, we are back inside. We are all set up here with the installation. We're online. Everything is checking out here. Just wanted to show you how everything ends up looking, where we have our data cable coming into the house. Again, we used the cable routing kit with the little plug. I've got some SpaceX silicone here holding that to the wall. We got the cable coming in, running up, and connected to our powered on Starlink router. We're online. We've got our Wi-Fi streaming through the house. It's amazing. One of the other things that is cool about this Gen 3 router is on the back, you can see here, there are 2 additional Ethernet ports. These are Ethernet out, so there's an option to hardwire up to 2 lines. I've got actually 1 line coming out. That runs down here and into another router that we had. This is our previous router from TP-Link. And this router then has 4 external ports, and we've got all kinds of Ethernet running down. I've got 1 connection for my Tesla solar panels. Then I've got 3 running down here to this outlet, 1 going down to the basement, and 2 going down to our den, connecting to our Roku and our security system. Of course, Starlink has extenders you can buy to make your own mesh network through Starlink, but I've had these existing TP-Link extenders here, so This is an example of one of our Wi-Fi extenders where I am up in my office and I've got a hard wire from the Wi-Fi to my computer. That seems to work pretty good. I have another Wi-Fi extender down in our den that helps get the signal out to the garage and other parts of the house. I finished up running the cable. Again, you saw earlier I ran it down this corner of the house here and then started to run it along the siding here. So I was able to finish that up behind our air conditioning unit, again along the siding, past our gas meter, underneath our water spigot, and then up here you can see our Tesla solar components, including our disconnect, the Tesla solar gateway, and our solar inverter. There's our electric meter. I have the Starlink cable though running down, and I have another loop here to allow some condensation to drip off up, and this is where we're running into the house. All right, we are about 3 days after install here. For our obstructions, this was a 3-day build on the obstruction map, and great to see here that Starlink has an unobstructed view of the sky and that the map will continue to become more accurate. You can see here all the blue here of a clear view of the sky and only a few minor obstructions here on the lower edge where we do have some tall trees in the backyard, but this map looks a lot better than the estimated obstructions that we collected before setting up Starlink using our phone. So really happy with these obstruction results. All right, we are connected to our Starlink internet here on my desktop computer. Now we're going to test it on Starlink. Let's see what we got here. That's very, whoa. So here we are through Starlink, 99.2 megabits per second download, 5.2 megabits per second upload. So the download is faster than our Fios slightly, and the upload quite a bit slower. But hey, look at the internet connection should be able to handle multiple devices streaming HD videos, video conferencing, and gaming at the same time. So pretty happy with this test here. All right, we're all finished with setting up our Starlink, powering it on, aligning it, and checking for obstructions. And now we're online streaming internet from space. This is so awesome. Running some speed tests showed that Starlink is as good as or better than my previous Fios service, and we're saving $20 per month. Perhaps this video has you thinking about switching to Starlink too, so I'm sharing my referral link below, which gets you your first month for free. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to pass along a like. Leave a comment down below with any questions and hit that subscribe button to see more videos from Tesla Family. Thanks for watching the video. If you really enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to Tesla Family channel for free here on YouTube. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I'll get back to you soon. We appreciate all of our subscribers and anyone who watches our videos. Thank you very much. Check out more of our content linked to the end screen of this video and on our videos, shorts, and playlist tabs. If you are on social media, follow us on X and like us on Facebook. Use my referral link to buy a new Tesla and get 3 months of free full self-driving capability. Or if you use my referral link to order solar panels, you can save $400 off.